Welcome to another episode where I've actually turned my microphone up. Thank you for the feedback on
Praise
YouTube.
the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And today, welcome to our very important person, VIP, Phil Yates. Welcome,
Thank
Phil.
you very much. Thank you.
Yes.
And Phil's brought a friend with him.
Not so important.
Hey, we've got to acknowledge how skinny Phil is looking.
Yeah.
He's a bag of bones.
Maybe you should stand up, Phil.
Can we
Oh,
not
no,
talk?
let's not
Let's
stand
talk
up.
about measurements.
Well, we've lost 10 kilos. So
Like
if you-
we, like collectively.
me.
Oh,
It's great.
When I say we, I had a few people on the plan with me, but they didn't stick to it. In fact, they got to the second day and quit.
Some quit on the first.
Most
day.
of them.
Yep.
First week.
Not all of them.
Yep. Some of
So
them.
what we were doing is fruit fast for February. So if you want any more details, write some comments and I'll give you all the facts and details.
Skinny Phil. Skinny Phil. So, and we have a New Zealand superstar with us today.
Yes.
welcome, superstar.
Thank you.
Was selected to the
Chris?
All Blacks but didn't play.
Were you really?
No.
Okay. Chris is here and I'm
No.
Justin.
And
We're going to talk about what's happening in the news.
Yes.
Yep.
but first,
But first.
the YouTube comments.
Oh, no.
Love your show. Only problem is the sound. I have to turn it up. Might be a YouTube issue. They think it's a Kyle issue, so I've turned me up.
We think it's Kyle's fault. Okay?
100% Kyle.
But
We can hear you
100%
now.
Kyle's fault.
if you want to point somebody out, just feel free to name names in the YouTube comments.
You notice you can hear him this week?
Yeah.
I can hear them.
And then another one. Thank you, Pam, for this message. I learn a lot. I learn more about American politics from your show than I do anywhere else, and I'm American. The stuff put out here is relevant, and since I know and trust Justin and Kyle,
Sorry, Phil.
Pam, we're going to have to
Don't.
meet.
Yep.
don't know
I'm coming
Phil.
to Gosford.
She
We're
says
gonna
she
have to
listens
meet.
carefully. As for how do I stay focused on my time with God in Scripture, just ask for focus, desire, understanding. Ask and you will receive. The more I receive, the more I realize that I need, so the more I ask.
It's awesome advice.
That's awesome. Thank you,
It is
Pam.
really good, Pam. God bless you, Pam.
Yeah. So, in the news, I wanted to start with this one. Oh, hang on, I've got my screens mixed up here. Let's just do a little switcheroo here. Sorry for them.
It's okay. It's a radio program, folks.
Program
so
calls, radio.
don't
Everyone's got
ignore
time.
that.
Okay, yeah. So, for the YouTube audience, now they can see. U.S. State Department has officially designated the following as foreign terrorist organizations. That means what? What when they are or when they aren't? What powers change?
Well, that means the military can go after them. You're not supposed to use the military within America or for just law enforcement. But once you're designated terrorist organization, which they have done to the Mexican cartels,
Have they?
they have.
So can they get them in America?
Yep. And they're all through America. And they can also go across the border with the choppers, with whatever they want, with satellites, with everything that the U.S. military brings to the table. And they're going after Mexican drug cartels. And let me tell you, this is going to see how bad, because everyone knows. What do you think of when you think of Mexican drug cartel?
What do I think of?
Speaking in the microphone here, you're going to get
Yeah.
complaints, mate.
Oh, we don't want complaints from anyone, do we?
Yeah.
Well, I think they're destroying America, aren't they? That's what Trump's thinking.
Yeah, they are. Torture.
Yep.
Just lawless thugs that intimidate people by being brutally cruel.
Yep.
Well, they're going to... The 10th Mountain Army Division has come down. The infantry are on the border, but they're going to use special forces, special operators from the Rangers, the SEALs, and everyone else. And the talk is it's next week that they start. The CIA are being repurposed. They're out of the border of Russia and Ukraine and all that hoo-ha.
What?
They're-
Americans on the border of Russia and Ukraine?
That's the rumour.
Why
And
would we
they're-
be there? We're not in a war.
They're repurposed. Look who's negotiating the peace, America and Russia. They've been directed down, and they've been in Mexico forever, the CIA, so they'll know this place well. They would already know the address of everyone they need to know. We're
Go
about
in
to
there.
see kinetic. This is shooting, blowing up stuff. U.S. military never happened before. Going to go into Mexico and take out those cartels, and they're going to answer to no one except the president.
What's the Mexican government doing about that? Nothing.
They're
Opening the
elected by the
doors.
cartels, mate. They are so in bed with the cartels have so much money, so much intimidating power that I feel sorry for anyone down there. So the average Mexican's probably cheering on Don here on this one.
So that's going to be messy, and that's coming up.
And
I
remember,
found a-
China. We've got to unpackage this a bit.
Okay, sorry.
What's
That's
happening
my
with
favorite
China?
word. Sorry. China sends fentanyl through the cartels into Americans, destroying this hideous drug that everyone's using now, and it just destroys the user. They want to stop fentanyl and the crisis that they're having because of the drugs and the killing 100,000 people a year because of fentanyl. This is how they stop it, because China's manufacturing this that the Mexican cartels are bringing in across the border. Sorry.
No,
There
that was
you go.
fine. I just wanted to talk about Greenland and Greenland polar bears. It's ready to defend Greenland against any threat from the US. There's a
Is
live
that Trump?
action video.
Running from the polar bear.
He's got a good run on
Does
it.
that get bigger? Oh, it does, but it wrecks the screens.
Yeah.
So is that going to happen? Greenland? What's the Greenland
What do you
plan?
know about Greenland? Is he purchasing it or is he?
Going to take it by force?
Okay, this is for the listeners, and again, this is just what's being reported. Trump's realigning America's whole military posture. They have been in Ukraine, despite what everyone says. They've funded the whole thing. They have bases in Germany. You guys been to Germany? What about England? Have you guys been to England?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been to England.
You lived there, didn't you?
Yeah.
You know there's US bases even in England.
Yeah, there's towns that go with that spend all the US dollar, and they've got Taco Bell there, and the whole base is there.
It's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah.
They since the Second World War, they have never really left Europe. Don, the Trumpy, is saying, "We're out, Europe. About time you pay. We're sick of paying." Because they pay Germany, this massive economy, pays zilcho for their own defense because America has a base there, 100,000 troops and all this crazy stuff. So Americans said, no, we're out of Europe. You want to defend against Russia? Go your hardest. England? Yeah, you go your hardest. And the British Prime Minister said, oh, yeah, we'll put troops in as long as America will back us. They're not going to back them. Don has said their whole realignment, and this affects Australia. They want Greenland down to the Panama Canal so they can block all the subs coming under the ice packs from Russia and the Russian Navy down to America, into the Pacific and into the Atlantic. And it's a massive change, and it affects us, even our Kiwi friends. New Zealand, they've got a good air force these days.
I think we've got one broken down Hercules, don't we?
Helicopter.
I love New Zealand.
But we rely on you.
I know, and we rely on America. That what they're doing, that he wants Greenland because he wants to protect from subs. Submarines will win the next war. He wants to have a base there and capture anything that's coming in there. They're fast attack subs. America detects them and they just track them and can take them out whenever they want. And here's Australia. We're right on that outer island chain in the Pacific. We are the last line of defense, if you like. I think we're going to feature quite heavily in the future in their military plans for the United States.
It's hard to see that happening if Kevin Rudd is our ambassador.
I don't know.
Yeah. Enough said.
Okay, enough said. All right. So CIA flying covert drone missions already across Mexico. So
Are they? Yeah, it's all about to go down. They've made a lot of TV shows and movies about this sort of approach already. What's that famous movie that they made? It's brutal about the drug cartels. Sicario?
Mm-hmm. That's
Is that what-
two of them, yep.
Like, they're hideous, these drug cartels, aren't they? This is a new day for America to act this way. And I don't think these cartels stand a chance from my knowledge of the US military. Not even close.
No.
Are you saying this starts next week?
Yep.
Wow.
nice. Hemispheric defense. So is that what you were talking about?
It's a shocking, the hemispherical
Hemispheric
defense. The change. It's no longer Europe. Trump says you can defend it. England's got an army. Germany, France, what are we doing here? And it's actually...
Has England got an army?
I don't know.
A broken one.
They haven't got... They've got more admirals
I
than
taught
ships.
in England. I can't see anyone joining the army.
That's very true. They've got a broken army.
Have they?
Yeah. They don't have much anymore.
Because they haven't had to.
Well, they rely on America.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to build it up.
So this is what they're saying, the Americans. You've got to spend 5% of GDP on military, which means all their retirement, their pensions, their hospitals, everything gets jeopardized with that because they're already up against the wall financially. And America's been carrying it, and they said no longer. So all of a sudden, they're retiring, in Greece and when they're 50 and all this sort of stuff. That's all gone, guys. If you're going to defend yourself against Russia, you're going to have to spend big bucks. So Trump is on this shock and awe campaign still. That's why the cartel goes in next week. They're sending the military against them. There's no time to, we better get ready for this. Bang, 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 bang. Fast, fast, fast.
Wow.
It changes global politics quite a lot.
Wow.
World War type level political landscape change. What do you think about Musk and Elon and Trump are considering paying 20% of all D.O.G.E savings back to the US taxpayer? For me, that's a bit weird because this was all fraud, waste, and abuse of power anyway. So,
Is there a number figure on how much that would be per person?
They say at the moment it'd be about $5,000 each.
Wow.
Let's start with a $5,000 check.
Yep.
I think it's silly.
It's weird that it'd be wasted, so we saved it, and then we wasted it again on you. Or are they trying to just pump up their own economy a bit?
Well, remember, they paid out 40,000 workers. You're finished now.
Yep.
The cost to pay them out, $6 billion. That is how much they go into debt further in one day. Every 24 hours, they're $6 billion further in debt. So to lay off 40,000 workers, and the big part they had to do, it's not even one day of their debt that they're going further and further and further. The world has not woken up to the debt crisis that we're all living in. We have no idea how bad this is. And they're doing an audit now on gold. What did you say before about gold in England?
They sold all their reserves at its lowest point by mistake, and then the Prime Minister left. So they had loads. They could have paid all their debt off.
How long ago?
Well, since I've lived there, so in the last 20 years, gone. And then gold skyrocketed. Everyone's like, mate, had we held on to that for another year or two,
They could have fixed their
a
debt.
rich nation again.
So you're saying
we're broke.
London sold its reserves?
England sold all its
England.
reserves, yeah. The
Something's
UK.
going on because this is in the news cycle now. Australia's got 80 tonnes apparently of gold. Why, Phil, would you store it in England? Australia stores their gold with the Bank of England.
Is it safer over there?
I don't know.
Do we not have any
Well,
vaults?
Senator Jared Rennick here is saying that how do we know that it's even real gold? Because when it got audited, they found fake gold bars in the Bank of England
Yeah, they've got some painted up lead bars that's not even gold.
with duplicate serial
So-
numbers.
So what do you reckon Elon wants to audit this?
Someone's tipped Elon off to say the Fort Knox is supposed to have 4,500 ton of gold, something like that. Well, someone's tipped him off. He says, well, that hasn't been audited since 1973. How do we know it's even there? How much of it has been someone siphoned it off? So, boy, oh boy, what if they don't have what they claim?
And Australia doesn't have what it thought it had with
England?
the UK.
It's all gone.
It's just a ticket, isn't it? Someone says,
It's not real.
Sounds like
So
England sold
if
ours.
there's not enough gold there's not enough physical gold compared to who has a gold certificate at home and says, if everyone called in the gold they're owed, there wouldn't be enough to go around. They're just
Yeah. Yeah, they reckon
relying-
it's been
it's like-
sold multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if everyone called it and said, I
Wow.
want the physical gold, they'd go, uh-oh.
so what happens to the price of gold when they audit it and they find out, oh, we've only got a third of what we said? If you don't physically, tangibly have that gold in your pocket or buried in your backyard, Phil,
In a mole
you
or a wombat hole.
down a wombat hole somewhere. If you don't, well, the wombat will take it if you put it in there. If you don't physically have it,
Where would he cash it
I
in?
would question whether you actually have it.
Yeah.
I'd really question. And everyone, the price of gold is broken all the records. It's going nuts. It's 4,000, nearly 700 in Australia, 4,600 something today. It's really, it jumps and then it levels out. If they go and do an audit in the Bank of England and they go, oh, well, you guys, and something's happening because there's a panic going on. They're flying tons of gold to America right now out of England. And England said they got called on for these 3,000 pound or whatever of gold. And they said, they're supposed to give it up in 14 days. They said, we need 6 weeks. And they put out a call to all the other countries. Has anyone got any gold reserves they could loan us? There's something smells here really bad.
It's
really bad.
8,000 gold bars have been moved out of the Bank of England's vaults in recent months. And there's some other articles are talking about the amount of flights coming in with pallets of gold to the maximum payload.
Into the States.
And it involves
New York.
Australia. What are we doing with our gold in the Bank of England? So it's like a shares.
Yeah.
They issue shares in gold, but they really only have one gold bar, but they've
Yep.
sold 10 shares
That's right.
of 10 bars, but that's not actually there. And that's all good while you're speculating, and I can sell that share again, and that went up and went down. But if you actually need it, it's not there. Watch this space.
Why do you need it?
Well, if there's a crisis and the currency collapses, if a war breaks out, gold's always telling you how the real indicator of where the world is. While gold's low, it's probably pretty cruisy, and we haven't got many problems on the horizon. The price of gold going up, either your economy's in trouble or there's a big war brewing, there's something bad going on. And that's where we live right now.
Yeah, the
Buy
last
more
few
than a suit.
months, it's gone up quick.
It's nuts.
So now that we're at an all-time high, Phil, it's probably time for you to buy in.
Buy in. Because, no,
Hey,
it
we
is
don't
gonna
give
double.
financial advice on this show either.
It is going to double.
We
Thanks,
are
Kyle.
living.
You had 4 people to choose from.
We are living through. We are, folks at home, we're in the last days of Earth's history.
Yep.
Anything is going to happen, and it's going to happen fast. So just be spiritually prepared. You don't need gold.
No.
Good if you did, but you don't need gold. You need Jesus. You need Jesus. That's where we live. But wow.
Well, there's enough Jesus to go around. There's not enough gold to go around.
That's
though.
right. You can get the real
Everyone can get
real
there.
one with Jesus.
Yep.
There doesn't seem to be enough Pope to go around at the moment. I want to hear your opinion. Will this change anything? That says he's quite sick. He thinks he might not survive. Double pneumonia for Pope. What's his name? Francis?
Yes, Francis.
And then what happens if Ratzinger's still alive? Does he get back in?
Oh, boy. There are, if you talk to or listen to conservative Catholics, they despise, I'm generalizing here, they despise Pope Francis. He's a globalist. He's more of a communist than he is as say John Paul or some of the great popes of history. This current pope is not loved, and they will say he's fake because Ratzinger never died. They always die in office and then they replace him. The guy didn't die in office. He just, for some reason, stepped down, and he was the opposite of him politically. This guy's climate change. He wants gay marriage. He's got all this crazy stuff going on that is not traditional pope stuff. So the fact that he's about to die, the conservative Catholics that I'm talking to and listening to, they are not upset at all. They are cheering that on, which I find fascinating.
He does look very sick. Like I haven't looked at a photo of him recently at all, but he's in a wheelchair, and
We don't wish anyone's death, and we should pray for this man. But the office he holds, not a good office.
why?
Because the Bible identifies that power very strongly in Bible prophecy as doing a lot of bad to Christianity. Persecuting the saints, all sorts of crazy stuff in the papacy. Not good. Putting himself equal with God, putting himself above. When the Pope speaks ex cathedra, he has authority over the Bible. Are you joking? To my Catholic friends out there, I know they're good as Christians as anyone I know. But I tell you what, that guy does not have authority over the Bible. The Bible has authority over all of us, every man that's ever lived, including the Pope. Including the Pope.
Well, that's all the stories I have pulled up. So 22 minutes deep. It's a short show today, but if somebody wants to learn more about the Bible and where it speaks about these things that you mentioned, what would they do?
They put him for the study guide.
Okay, study.
0482 082 876. 0482 082 876.
If you text that in, we'll get you the study guide. I noticed a text message there from somebody who wasn't able to get one when we were out of print. And then the bot told her she couldn't have one because she already got one. But I rectified that.
Tell her to
and
text
delivering.
Kyle. We'll send you one
It's
personally.
on the way. We've triggered it.
Great stuff.
Taking care of the situation.
Great stuff.
Kyle's a problem solver.
And in the coming week, Kyle, before we go, you put
Please.
up the news things. Big stuff's coming down the hill. Watch, if you're into watching what's going on in the news, the FBI director has still not been voted on, Kash Patel. If he gets in, boy, oh boy, are we going to get a revenge tour? Because Trump is on a revenge tour. And you can dress it up any way you like, but he is getting payback. He's actually got his D.O.G.E, whether he personally, the D.O.G.E of feds, are going after Letitia James in New York, the Attorney General, who tried to jail Trump. Well, now she's being sued by those guys over immigration policies. Everyone else there. They've actually put the California governor on notice that he's next. When the FBI director gets in, we're going to see some big stuff drop, and we are definitely going to see people go to jail because of how they've acted towards Trump and his side in the past. It is a revenge tour, and it is going to be absolutely spectacular. No matter what side you're on, this is new history that's being made here. We're inching, sometimes we're sliding rapidly towards this polarized two-camp stuff, and they are cleaning house in ways that you can't imagine. So watch that. Kash Patel going to be voted on, I think, next Thursday.
Why is it that it takes so long to get him voted in?
Because they know the Democrats are slow walking it. They know the moment he gets in, a guy like Adam Schiff in the Senate, He had Kash Patel in his book identifies, got a whole chapter on, it's called Government Gangsters, his book. Got a whole chapter just on Adam Schiff. Adam Schiff's going to jail if Kash Patel gets in. So what do you think Adam Schiff's doing? They kind of thought Trump might not be serious. They thought he gets in, maybe, he'll calm down and we'll go back to business as usual. No. You are not living in that time. You folks are living through a change in Earth's history where we're seeing America act in ways it's never acted before. And it's pretty juicy. So hang on to your hat. That's a big thing coming. Other thing I want people to watch for is what D.O.G.E is uncovering. The level, the economic reality of what America has, no one is really awake to. We are on the edge of such a big economic correction here. We've been playing with fire and we're going to get burned. And here it comes. And if they do these audits and they're discovering again and again, this has been the biggest fraud going on through government and their departments, unbelievable fraud. What's the economic implications of that? They just dropped interest rates this week in Australia by
0.25.
0.25%. Man, where are we going here? I think that's probably premature. I think interest rates may not go down again because inflation is not gone. It has not gone. So let's see.
What do you think will happen? Crypto or gold or just massive poverty?
It's your currency. Their reactions to a depleted currency because debt will destroy your currency. And that's what we're witnessing. And we don't even know how bad it really is. Because their gold deposit is like a big insurance for their currency. This makes their dollars valuable. If that's not there, and they've decoupled it from gold as a direct thing, but it's still there as a backstop. China's been hoarding it by the tons. If governments are doing that, they can see something coming. That's where we live, folks. This is not a time to be lazy spiritually. There's big stuff happening every day. We're getting immune to it because it's happening so much, so often. America's about to send in the military into Mexico to hunt drug cartels. They would dream of that. They tried it with the rebels, FARC and all that down in Colombia in the 80s and 90s, but not to this extent. This is new.
Alrighty. So if you're interested in a study guide, just text the word study to
0482 082 876. And if you can't hear Kyle speak, send a text to that same number and say, Kyle, speak up.
Speak up. Mumble less.
Mumble less.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kyle.
We'll see you next week.
Thank you,
Thanks for
Justin.
being here, Chris.
Thank you, mate.
Yeah. Maybe send us a text if that was better or worse having Chris on.
Go the All Blacks.
Okay.
Yeah, go the All Blacks.
Go the All Blacks.